Let's be honest, when was the last time you actually picked up your camera, not because you felt like it, but you actually wanted to? And also, this is how I actually woke up my photography back up when I was feeling flat and boring with my photography. If you ever felt like that before, then this video is for you. There's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing broken, it's just about your environment, and you're in the wrong one. You're in the wrong type of environment to be able to actually wake up your photography back up and bring it back to life. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Because I used to go with weeks without taking photos or doing anything with my photography, and the fact that I went for weeks without taking any photos, but I was creating content about photography still, but I wasn't taking photos or doing anything that I actually wanted to. It's just because I felt like I needed to, not because I actually wanted to. Like, that's the whole entire point of photography. Like, you actually want to go out and actually take photos and actually do it for the fun of it. Like, I used to just scroll through Instagram and looking for this perfect photographers and all sorts and going through tips and tricks. It's like, and I was overstimulated for most of it. And then I just kept getting stuck in that habit of just scrolling through, comparing all the time, going like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to create this great photo that this photographer took. And I was doubting myself before I even took a photo or did anything. And that was one problem. There's a few more. And now with most photographers, when they come towards a problem, they tend to go, it's actually the gear's fault. It's not my fault, it's the gear's fault. And they go like, nah, I'm gonna buy a new gear, spend $2,000 on a lens, on a camera, and they do that, use the lens, and they still go at the same problem. Creativity is just not sparking up or anything like that. They just blame the gear. They don't blame them, they blame the gear. They start doing the blaming problem. They just go point. That's the whole entire point of taking accountability for yourself and going like, hey, I'm actually not really creating as much as I used to. Let's just try and take a few steps back and go, what did I actually like to take photos of? And then that will actually revert your spark back up to a fire that has been relit. But there's another thing I forgot about is your environment too. Your environment is the one thing that matters most. And if you don't change it at all, and you take the same photos, go on the same walk, and you just take the same view, sunset, whatever, you'll tend to just get boring of yourself. You're like, I did this yesterday and now I'm doing it today. Why am I doing it today? Like, go somewhere different. Like, I live around the bush, and I used to take photos around nature, and I used to just take photos of leaves, flowers, and all that. I'm like, this is pretty cool, but it's not really sparking my interest or my creativity. So I decided to go ahead and either go out towards Cornwall, take beaches, photos, whatever, and take photos of that. And then once I got bored of that, I started to invest a bit more in my creativity into doing, music photo shoots, sports photography, doing different genres and testing out what I actually do like and don't like. It's all about those things. And that's when your environment changes, and then you start to go, hey, there's actually a bit more that I can taste. It's like going towards a buffet and tasting all different types of food. And if you like that one, you like that one. If you don't like that one, get away from it. It's all about those. Instead of forcing myself to be motivated to go out and take photos, I instead turn into this one thing that I always like, and that's watching movie scenes, and going ahead and actually, looking at movies and going like, can I actually recreate that in my own suburb or even in my own room? And I started to, not force myself, but like going like, can I actually create that, and can I actually do that? And how is it hard or is it easy? But with the movie scenes part, it really developed my creativity and going like, how can I do this? Why can I do this? And what was the intention behind the photo and all sorts? Is it because it's cool, or is it because it relates to my younger self? When do you get that message apart from your photos and going like, is this for my younger self, or is this for myself to just go, this is really cool to make, I may as well make it? And like, once I started to do that a bit more, I started to get more creativity as soon as I did that. When I went from going from the baby driver photo, which was my first recreational, and then my last one, I can't remember, but the last one was probably in between the Batman one, the Batman of me sitting down on my bed, and recreating that moment of looking at the mask and feeling like that Christian Bale when he was looking down, he's like realizing that, like, am I doing the right thing? Questioning All those things. Questioning if Gotham is being protected by me, am I just making it worse? Asking those questions, and then, going like that. Like, it's all about those simple things. All those simple things of asking questions about your photos, so your audience feel like, hey, this looks like this movie, or this looks like this, or this vibe feels like that. It's all about those things. And then once I started to do that, I got a bit more intentional about my photos a bit more, and going more creative and more storytelling. So I used to just take photos all the time and just take photos for the sake of it. When literally now I go intentional with my photos, and I don't really take much photos anymore recently, I know that, but when I go out, I actually have intention, I actually have a think about my photos and go like, how would this make me feel? But sometimes if I want to just go out and take photos, I'll go out and take photos, and just for the sake of it, and practicing myself, as sometimes when you haven't taken photos for a while, you need to be able to get your brain thinking a bit more. But now whenever I feel stuck about my photos, I don't just scroll, I don't wait, I don't just think about it, I tend to just do it. I tend to do my photos, and I tend to, look at either Pinterest really quickly, or either look at some previous photos I did a couple years ago, and go like, okay, we can probably do that, because that's when inspiration comes in, and I go, okay, let's go ahead and do that thing. Go ahead and do the thing. No more overthinking about the photo. Let's just go ahead and do it. And if we can't succeed about it, at least we've done it, and we try to do it the best we can. But yet again, let's just come back towards the environmental place. Once you change your surroundings and then you go to new locations, that's when everything tends to change about your photography, and tends to change about yourself, about the way you look at your photos, how you create photos, how you create stories about people, and about being related to people as well. It's exactly like content creation and photography, like all about reliability, being like being trustworthy, and being able to speak about your voice and speaking about what you like the most. And that's how I actually work my photography back up. And when I was doing these type of things, let's just go with the timeline, I was literally going out and taking photos around Cronulla, and I had a thought, I was like, these photos just look the same as I took. And then that's when a friend of mine said, why don't you just recreate movie scenes? Why don't you just think of that? Because I saw a YouTube video of this person recreating the Batman, Rob Pattinson's car scene when he goes up with flames and penguins looking down because he just crashed into him. And I'm like, I could possibly do that and recreate movie scenes that are either really popular, or either the ones that not many people think about the most. So that's how I work my photography up. And if you do like this YouTube video, like and subscribe for more. And I've also created an email course for you guys, so about 28 ways to learn photography in 28 days as well. And if you do want that, it'll be in the link in the description below, or simply comment 28 and I'll send the link through the comment section as well. So bye bye.